How can you save time by taking advantage of built-in automation features in Microsoft Excel? Hi, I'm Dawn with K2 Technologies. In this tech tip, we'll look at 3 time-saving automation tricks in Excel: AutoComplete, AutoCorrect, and AutoCalculate. You've likely used the AutoComplete feature anytime you're filling in a list of data in Excel. For example, when you start typing an entry, here I want supply room, Excel will try to autocomplete. That is, to suggest from the available responses that are already in that column. If this is what I want, I can simply hit enter. If it's not, simply keep typing. Now that works great when these are unique entries. What happens when you have really similar entries? This might mean that you're having to type a lot of characters for you to finally get to that unique entry. And this can certainly be very time-consuming, especially when you have lengthy notes or comments. Let's say, for instance, we wanted to reference a particular conference room. In this example, all the conference rooms start with that word. And so I would have to actually type in almost the entire entry before I would get that unique entry. And that doesn't really save me any time. So here's another way to approach it. To get a list of options that are in this list, rather than starting to type, simply press Alt and the down arrow key. That's all you have to do, Alt and the down arrow key. And here's a list of all of the current unique entries in this column. Now we can simply select the one we want. Another way to get that list instead, right-click, and here is the option, Pick from drop-down list. Once again, we select the entry that we'd like. And we can either hit our down arrow key, or you could use your mouse to select. This list is built from the entries that are in this column. And so the autocomplete list will start to grow as you populate your worksheet. And that's how we can leverage autocomplete for faster data entry. AutoCorrect is another quick way for us to be able to easily enter in data. You may have noticed this as you start typing, especially if you have a spelling error. For instance, here I'll type in TEH as in the, and as soon as you hit a space, punctuation, or the enter key, then Excel will check this against its list of already existing corrections. Most of the AutoCorrect entries are spelling errors, which makes it great that Excel will fix it for us. But we can also leverage this to create kind of like a shorthand for lengthy entries we might enter in, such as our department name or organization name. Let's look at how we can work with the AutoCorrect feature in Excel. You'll find this under the File tab, and then Options. Next, choose Proofing. So proofing is not only for spelling, but for some of these other built-in features. Choose AutoCorrect Options. You'll notice some of the options here where Excel will try to fix some of your entries in terms of capitalization. But the AutoCorrect feature that we're going to focus on is Replace Text as you type. The list on the left-hand side tends to be spelling errors. That is, here's what you might type. And then on the right-hand side, here's what we'll fix it with. There are over 500 entries that are built in, but you can put in your own variations. The example earlier, TEH, is automatically built in here. And as we saw, it's very quick for these corrections to be made automatically for you. But the power with AutoCorrect is to be able to create your own shorthand as well. Here, I want to be able to type in just a couple characters here to get this phrase. It's good to know not to use any acronyms that you might actually use, because remember, this is automatic. But it could be a variation, your own version of that shorthand. Simply you're telling Excel what you want to do. And make it lowercase, because then Excel will recognize both the lowercase and uppercase versions. I'll add this, and we could build more, but you can always come back later as well. When you're done, okay, back to your worksheet. Keep in mind that these AutoCorrect entries are something that's used by the entire system, so it's not just in this one workbook. For this, I could just put in that shorthand, but it could also be part of a larger phrase or entry. Remember that acronym MX? Now if I hit a space bar, enter, or other punctuation, Excel spells it out for me. This is a great time saver to help you with your data entry. AutoCalculate is another handy automation feature in Excel. It lets you quickly check totals, averages, and much more. To see it, simply highlight a range within your worksheet. Although these might typically be numbers, It also could be text, especially if you just want to see a count. So AutoCalculate doesn't actually build calculations or formulas, but it's a quick auditing tool. Next, look at your status bar at the bottom of the screen. Here you'll see the average, count, and sum of the selected range. Now, if this isn't displaying for some reason, or you might want to leverage more from AutoCalculate, simply right-click on your status bar. Here are any number of options we might want to enable, but towards the bottom, you can see the check mark in front of those features that are currently selected. And what if I want also the minimum and the maximum? Simply check those, and they become another part of this AutoCalculate. Let's select another range. Once again, we look down in our status bar, and here we have the results. We know how many entries, we know what the sum is, and even the minimum and maximum. So this isn't actually something you need to turn on or enable. It just is automatically there as part of how you're viewing that selected range. How can you take advantage of AutoCalculate and the other automatic features in Excel? In this K-Squared Tech Tip, you've seen how to save time and effort in Microsoft Excel by leveraging AutoComplete, AutoCorrect, and AutoCalculate. How can we help you be more productive? Please reach out to us for IT services and consulting to support you with Microsoft technologies. We look forward to working with you. Thanks for watching.